Can vegans date non-vegans? That is the question, and it is a difficult one. So I hope you guys stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to read you some of the online comments that I have got being a vegan woman trying to find a vegan man. It's near impossible. So I'll give you a little background. When I first became vegan about 3.5 years ago, I definitely would have said yes. Yes, I would have no problem dating somebody that wasn't vegan because I lived in a smaller town and I actually only knew 3 vegans. So, and 2 of them were women. So anyways, that being said, and I wasn't really dating at the time, so it wasn't really something that was coming up. But the few dates that I would go on, guys would be curious about it, or they'd be like, oh, so you're vegan, blah, blah, blah. And they would just literally want to start an argument with me. It is so strange. So sometimes they'd start out asking me some questions, you know, like, I don't know, like normal questions, and that's totally fine. Like, hey, that's cool. You're asking about me, you're interested, that's awesome. But then they would usually end up saying something like, well, good for you and everything, like I get it, but I could never do that because I just love my meat and I love my cheese and but bacon and but my steak and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, you know, and I don't set out with the intention to have an argument or a debate on the first date, but when you tell a guy that, it usually, or I mean, when somebody knows that you're vegan or it's gonna come up or whatever, then they're gonna have questions or they're gonna wanna debate you. Or they will say that they admire you, but as a man, you know, a big, strong man, they could never do it because what about protein? Where are they going to get their protein from? Oh my goodness. This has got to be the #1 most asked question that I think I and probably other vegans get all the time is, but where are you going to get your protein from? Where are you getting your protein from? Where are you getting your iron from? Where are you getting your calcium from? Guess what? From plants and from whole grain foods. Okay, so when I get into this protein deficiency debate with people, it's always so interesting because I don't think that a lot of people realize that like plants and whole-based foods have a gazillion nutrients. They're more nutrient rich than any meat or cheese or anything, and there's so many, and I'm just gonna give you a little list here. There's spinach, broccoli, quinoa, nuts, seeds, black beans, kidney beans, lima beans, peas, legumes, tempeh, tofu, chickpea, pasta, oats, soy milk, edamame, grains, wild rice, avocado, kale, mushrooms, peppers. So many delicious foods. But when you say this to somebody, men in particular, in my experience, oh, disclaimer here, this is all my opinion and my experience, okay? So I'm not beating up on men, these are just things that have been said to me, okay? They would say, well, I'd have to eat like 400 pounds of broccoli or spinach to equal the protein that I get in a steak. And you're just fighting a losing battle because if you point out to them that where does your protein get its protein? Like cows eat plants. So, but I digress. So, whatever you're gonna say, this is what I find. They're just gonna try to prove you wrong and to prove their point of view is right and that you need meat and you just, that's it. That's the end all be all. So as far as dating somebody that is like hell bent on eating animal flesh, no matter what, then there's no way that I could date them because there's no room for any open-mindedness there. They're just stuck in their caveman mentality. Sorry, but I hate to say it because it's like they'll say, well, this is the way it's always been. The cavemen eat meat. This is like we have to hunt for our food. That's why we are born with canines. Yeah, because these are like, you know, biting into like, I don't know, a big elk or something. I don't know. But yeah, that we need dairy for calcium, that it's not filling enough, that it's unhealthy, that soy protein will lead to rising estrogen levels, and that they'll get man boobs. I hear this one all the time. Or that it's bad for women that are menopausal, because you're going to get too many hormones and too much estrogen. Okay, but you are literally consuming, drinking, whatever, the milk and dairy from a cow that is meant for her newborn calf while she's pregnant, filled with hormones. So, okay. And that it's too expensive. That's another one I get all the time. And the list goes on and on. So then there are the guys that'll tell you that they've cut down on their meat consumption, and they'll say, well, I've really cut down on eating red meat, and I'm only just eating like chicken and fish. And I mean, while that's great that you're only killing animals on a part-time basis, you're just not getting what it means to be vegan. Because a lot of people, in fact, and this is no judgment here, and even vegans consider veganism to be a diet, where it's not a diet at all. In fact, it's an ethical lifestyle. There are many health benefits to it, of course. If you are following a plant-based whole grain diet, there's lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, weight loss, less risk of cancer, lower risk of heart disease, reduced pain from arthritis, lower risk of diabetes, and so many more richer nutrients in vegetables. But it's so much more. So here's the definition of veganism. Veganism is a way of living which seeks to exclude all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So for me, it's not just a diet. And for the record, I am by far one of the not healthiest eaters around. Let's put it that way. I love my vegan junk food. I love my vegan ice cream, my chips, things like that. I mean, I am not just sitting eating a bowl of lettuce every day, okay? I have my cravings for junk food, and so for me, it's not about a diet. I basically eat the same as I always did. I just don't eat meat and cheese, but I eat like a million other things. So so there's a huge variety. I do try to maintain a somewhat healthy diet most of the time, but you know. So anyways, so the hard part for me is that people just aren't making the connection. And it's like when men will say, well, I'm a huge animal lover, like I love my dog, I love my cat, but I go fishing. So like to me, it's just, you're not making the connection, because it's like, why are you loving one and considering one as a pet, but the other one as it's okay to kill them and eat them as food? So, I mean, that's just, you know, that's where I have a problem. Like, it's hard to, yeah, explain that. So up until recently, I was pretty intent on only dating another vegan, because I get tired of the arguments and the comments and the disagreements. And I get it, like not everyone's gonna feel the same way I do, obviously, but it's a lot sometimes, because you just feel like this is my whole entire being, and you're like just blowing it off, like trying to debate every single thing that I believe in, and it makes it really difficult. So it's like, yeah, I know you can date people with opposite opinions and lifestyles, but look, this is a pretty big one. So I moved to a larger city, and guess what? I still don't have any vegan men to date. Where are you guys? I have gone on 2 dates, and this was like a year ago, with 2 different vegan men. And basically, the only commonality we had was veganism. I mean, it was great and refreshing and awesome to have that commonality and to go out with somebody that has the same views as you and you can discuss all things vegan. But at the end of the day, you need a little bit more than that. Like, I need an attraction, I need some sort of spark, and if it's not there, it's just not there, like, you know. So to me, it's very similar in my experience of being a recovering alcoholic. It's awesome for me if I go out on a date with somebody that either doesn't drink or they are a recovering alcoholic and they totally get it. You know, we've been through the same life experiences. I don't have to worry about them like getting drunk or anything. It's just like we're on the same level there. They get it, they understand it. But outside of that, there's just gotta be something more. So I've been getting a lot of advice lately that I should not be so rigid when it comes to my dating preferences about only dating another vegan. That I have to remember that I thought this way before and I changed. So hopefully maybe I could inform, educate, influence a man to maybe become vegan, switch to veganism. And yes, I think that that is possible if the person is open-minded and willing to listen and open to try new and delicious vegan foods. I think that's another part of it when people think it's all just about the food and the diet. They have this fear or misconception that vegan food is gross. I think that when people think of vegan, they just think of like some iceberg lettuce and a block of tofu or something. Like, it's just, it's so much more. And vegan food has come such a long way, like just even in the last few years, just since I've become vegan. There are so many vegan foods that non-vegans eat all the time and don't even know that they're vegan. Like, I'm just gonna give you a couple little examples of like kind of vegan junk foods that I like. Oreos, Ritz crackers, spicy sweet chili Doritos, classic Lay's chips, Twizzlers, Fritos, and Triscuits. Yeah, they're all vegan. And you can go and get ice cream. Oh my God, Ben & Jerry's and Haagen-Dazs both have non-dairy vegan ice cream, and they're amazing. You can get the Beyond Burger, delicious. Like, there's so many things at the grocery store now that you just wouldn't think of, and they're delicious. And also, there are so many more vegan restaurants now, and also restaurants that are non-vegan but offer vegan options, and that's amazing. Like, right there, that is amazing. You just have to be open to trying it before deciding that you're not gonna like it, or it doesn't look the same, or it doesn't taste the same, or the texture's not the same. Like, just be open and give it a try. I mean, oh my gosh, before I became vegan, I didn't think that I would ever be able to give up cheese or not have certain foods without cheese slathered all over them. And you just start to learn that you don't need that. You do not need it in your life. Trust me. I was like a cheeseaholic, honest to God. And now, like, the thought of cheese repulses me. So, and it's so much better not having that in my body and in my system, but I digress. So, I have a question. Could you, as a vegan, go on a date with a non-vegan and have them order meat in front of you and eat it in front of you? Would you expect them to order something vegan while they're on a date with you? So my answer is, personally, it would be a huge turnoff and extremely difficult to go on a date with someone and have them eat meat or dairy in front of me. And I don't think that it's a matter of they have to do whatever I want or conform to my beliefs. It's just out of respect on that date, you know? If you're trying to start a romantic connection with somebody that's vegan, eating a steak on a date would probably not be the best move for me. I don't know, like maybe there are others that would be okay with it. I highly doubt it, but for me personally, that would just game over. The date would be over. It just wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it. So here's another question. If you're going to a place that is a non-vegan restaurant, but they have vegan options, would you feel okay suggesting that they get something vegan, or would you just expect that they would? I would hope that they would. I don't know. I haven't really been put in that position yet, but be interesting to see what would happen, because I just don't really go on very many dates and not eating ones, I guess. We just, yeah, that's a whole other video. Okay, so again, I relate a lot of the same aspects to the fact that I don't drink alcohol, because I've had men on dates know that I don't drink alcohol and say to me, hey, would you mind if I ordered a drink? And I gotta tell you something, I absolutely 100% respect that so much, that they're taking my feelings into consideration, right? I mean, I think that that's just awesome, and it just shows a lot of respect, and I really appreciate that. And for the record, no, like, go ahead, have a drink. It's not gonna bother me, which is the weird thing, because somebody ordering an alcoholic beverage and drinking it in front of me doesn't affect me at all, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. But for somebody to order meat and eat it in front of me, I'm repulsed. So yeah, have a couple drinks and let's get something vegan. Be a much more pleasurable date for everyone. So now, you know, I've got to include some online vegan dating situations. So here's the scoop. In my profile, I always state that I'm vegan and I'm looking to date someone that is vegan. I don't think that I'm like crazy about it or anything. I just say, hey, looking to meet someone vegan, okay? And that's all I say. I don't go on and on about it or anything else. And it doesn't deter anybody, usually. I still get the men holding up a fish, messaging me, asking me how my day is going. I don't know, it's just bizarre, but there are the ones that want to message me, unsolicited messages, just for the sole purpose of saying something mean and ignorant to me. And I get these all the time. So I have to say, in one profile picture, I'm wearing a t-shirt that says stop climate change, go vegan. Like, it's not like huge. Well, maybe it's huge, I don't know. But in all honesty, and this is the honest to God truth, I didn't pick that picture specifically to say, oh, well, I'm wearing that shirt, so I want to send a message. I just happened to be wearing that shirt, and it happened to be a good picture of me where I looked cute. So that is why I used that picture, because that's what you do, right? So this guy messages me, this is so good, and he says, I was checking out your profile, and your blue shirt about veganism makes me sick. Veganism is cause more greenhouse gases and toxicity in this world than a cow farting. Okay, I work for a company whose other side of the business is transporting of vegetable and soybean oils. You know, they come from huge refineries where they have chemists who use chemicals to make the end product look, smell, and taste better. Poison. Vegetable oils are also used as hydraulic oil in heavy equipment. Butter is made from cream and healthy bacteria. No chemicals. There was more to this, but I couldn't find it. Actually, I took a screenshot of that, and then I don't know where the second part of it went. But just on a side note, this guy's name was MILF Lover. So we'll just let that sink in. There's that. Then there's this gem. Somebody just randomly messages me, hamburgers are delicious. So my response was, yeah, I can tell you eat a lot of them. What an asshole. Yes, I know, I was being childish, but I was having a moment, okay? I was just like, really? And he replied, typical vegan. Really? Typical vegan. Because what did I do to be in your face? What did I say to you to deserve that response? Nothing. You sent a mean message to me to get a reaction. So guess what? Mission accomplished. You got your reaction. So you can tell everybody stories about this massive vegan bitch that messaged you on a dating site. So you got your story and I got mine. So, wait, there was more. Another gem. So if everyone stopped eating meat, the climate would change for the better. So all the other production companies, oil, gas, and the companies that make clothes you wear have nothing to do with climate, just the ones that process meat. Maybe we should change corruption first so people, humans, don't have to live in squalor and can eat properly. Air is essential, I agree, but so is food and a place to live. People don't even have that. This is the best part, I love this. Enjoy your couch and TV. Oh, planet Earth. Unsolicited, never said a word to this person, but he just felt like he had to tell me that. And another one, absolutely gorgeous. You started out good, then you said, I eat meat. Awesome. Of which I'm always grateful for the sacrifice. Huge PETA supporter. Okay. And I love this one. A guy put, a vegan dude is a girl. Just saying. My reply was, wow, you're not very smart, are you? And his reply was, wow, you always miserable when someone makes a joke? That would, W-U-D, be why you're single. And yes, smarter than you be a H of a lot. There are so many like this. Yeah, all the vegan dudes are on the other website hunting for vegan dudes. I've had a lot of guys say that only gay men are vegan, and that just baffles my mind that people can be so ignorant, but anyways, and so I wrote, are you seriously that ignorant? And his response was, it was a joke. So I hunt, I don't think that I'll get a call from you. Probably not, bud. I could honestly go on for hours. So basically the bottom line is online dating's pretty horrible. And the bottom line of vegans dating a non-vegan is, okay, I'm trying to be more open-minded since I want to date someone that's open-minded. The problem is that it isn't just a food preference for me, it's my entire moral and ethical belief system. So that's where it gets tricky, where people have to understand that it's not a diet, it's my whole belief system. So where do I stand right now? I don't know. Because there aren't a lot of vegan men that I know of, so that is an issue. But I just wanted to broach the question and the topic to other vegans, non-vegans out there. What are your thoughts on this? As a vegan, would you date a non-vegan? Going into it as you're a vegan and they're a non-vegan. Like, I don't want to know about how you became vegan while you were already like both non-vegans, because yeah, that would be totally different. I'm talking like right at this point, you're vegan. Would you date somebody that ate meat and dairy? That is the question. So please leave your comments below and we will chat soon. Mwah.